Let's go for another hands-on lesson with this spectacular method called Dutch in CS. Today I've picked out a game for us, the match between Slavia Praha and Barcelona. It's a Champions League match which will take place in 46 minutes. Certainly the lineups have already been analyzed by 6core at this point, because in the Champions League the lineups are released quite early. So it actually comes out even earlier than half an hour before, just as promised by 6core. We're going to go here to the scores section in expected value, and we're going to select the first 8 scores to see if we have a positive expected value to go after this duty. Look, it gave us a 9.17% positive expected value. Did it pass then? Let's go to the DUT calculator. Click here. It's showing 23%. For us who are looking for an average green of 37% over time, that's very low. Sometimes it can be 30%, 32%. It can be, as long as every now and then it's 50, 55, and so on. Over time, the average has to be 37. 23, normally I consider 23 way too low to work with. So I'm going to eliminate the 8th one, which is 1-to-1. It went up to 34. Now it's starting to get interesting. I'm going to eliminate the 7th one, which is 2-to-2. Look, it went up to 43. And what if I eliminate the 6th one? Let's go to 53. And then I increase my risk, because I'll be left here with scores, just 5 scores, and the fewer the scores, the higher the risk, but the higher the risk, the greater the return as well. Let's think about sticking with 6, 43, so we're not too greedy and we're still protected. On 2-3. Alright, I like this score formatting here. Our quantitative analysis is done, quick and easy, just like that, within 6core.com.br. The link is here in the description of this video. I'll also leave the link to the free platform in case you want to learn do things step by step from the very beginning for free. Inside this platform, there's a course with paid level quality, so you can learn this methodology here. If you want to follow me on Telegram, it's the 3rd link in the description, so you can keep up with the entries I make there as well, also within the method. Now let's move on to our qualitative analysis, and then we move on to the pre-analysis section of the lineups. First button, methodical analysis. Second button, lineup analysis. Take a look. Everything inside this green rectangle is what the C-Scores artificial intelligence considers as the starting players. And what is further down are the players it considers as substitutes. Those who already have a rating are the ones the Slavia coach selected as starters. So look, there are only 4 Slavia players among the starters. The rest are pretty much all substitutes. What's happening here? It is highly probable that the Slavia coach, since Slavia practically has virtually no realistic possibility whatsoever of qualifying for the Champions League, currently sitting with only 3 points in the group standings, obviously, mathematically there is still a slim chance, but they are unfortunately losing to everyone they face. He must have conceded defeat in this competition, and will now focus entirely on their domestic league performance. They are leading with a 7-point advantage. That's very likely what the Slavia coach is thinking. On Barcelona's side, we have a Barcelona that's, let's say, a bit of a mixed bag. Yamal is absent. He wasn't even included in the squad. And Ferran Torres is also absent. He wasn't even included in the squad. Kubarsi is on the bench. Rashford sometimes starts, sometimes doesn't. So you could consider him a substitute. And here we have Rafinha and Martin, who is very close to being considered a starter, so I could consider him a starter as well. And Lewandowski, who hasn't played that much, but is occasionally in the lineup, can also be considered almost a starter. Here are the lineups. I really like Barca's lineup, even though they're without Yamal and without Ferran. It's still a very strong lineup, especially to face a practically reserved Slavia team. So, given all this and our analysis, let's take a quick look at Barcelona's standings here. Barcelona isn't doing that well. They need to improve their position a bit so they don't end up with such a tough matchup later on. Now let's go back to the scores section. And I really like sticking with this setup here with 6 score lines, including 2-to-3. And if Slavia scores 2 goals, we still have the 2-to-3 to protect us, besides Barcelona's own route, which is already included here. So let's go. Let's go to the betting exchange and place our bet. We just need to find the Barcelona game here. Once again, I'm going to work with you here using a very small stake, just 1% of my main stake. What I actually use in this method is 10% of my main stake, which is 1,000 Brazilian reals. I'm going to use 100 here to show you that it's possible to work with small amounts as well, and still make a good profit from the market. So what we have included here, let's go back there. 0-1, we don't have that. It's a risky score, but I believe there will be a lot of goals in this game. So we have from 0-2, we have 0-3. There's 1-2, 1-3, and 2-3 as well. Remember that we kept the 2-3, and there's also the possibility of a Barca route. We click here on stake and enter directly the amount we want to bet. Calculate. It will already show us the 43% there. We place the bets. Automatically, it has already distributed everything. All set. So look, it's all set here already. 0-2, 0-3. 1-2, 1-3. 2-3 and the route, all with the profit values and the rest obviously with the hedge values. Now we just have to wait for the game to start, see how it unfolds, and we'll keep chatting and discussing things here. To see what kind of moves, if any, are needed, we'll make them. Just a reminder, the way I work, I only make moves when we're in profit. With the hedge, we accept the full hedge. That's why we aim for it. 37%. So that over time, we maintain a 3-1 ratio, which is a healthy ratio. So, let's wait for the game to start and we'll be back soon. We have an event happening here in the game. It took me a while to get here. I was hanging up clothes. Yeah, I was hanging up clothes. And when I came back, it's 1-0 for Slavia Praha. It's not a problem for me to be away from the game a bit at the start, because with dutting, there's really nothing for us to do in the beginning. It's just about observing, so we can give ourselves that freedom with this method. And this 1-0 here, it's bad, but not completely. Not all bad, because we would still have the 1-2, and even if Slavia hadn't scored, Barcelona would still need to score too. So it's still going to force Barcelona to try to turn this game around. We have the 1-2, 1-3, we have the 2-3, and we have the possibility of a Barca route. So it's not all bad. That's why it's only at 25% control. Let's keep watching for any new important developments and I'll come back here so we can talk. We have an update. Barcelona scores 1-1. Who scored? Fermin Lopez. The market is still suspended. It won't update right now. It's not showing at the moment while I'm recording this for you. I waited a bit before recording. It's not opening, but if it did, we could more or less see our small loss or profit. Probably 0 because we have a 2-1, 3-1, and the tendency is for Barcelona to score, right? And even if Slavia scores, we have the 2-3, as I mentioned earlier. That's it. Let's keep going. Barcelona is better in the game. Let's keep watching. Calm down, patience. And patience is a noble virtue. If anything important happens, I'll come back here. I'm back here with 2 more events for you besides halftime, but the market isn't opening. I wanted to see what profit we had here. The position is looking really interesting for us now. What happened? Barcelona scored the second goal. They turned it around with another goal from Fermin Lopez. And right after that, they conceded the equalizer. An own goal by Lewandowski, a corner kick from Slavia, and the ball stayed. It hit one player, deflected off him there, and went into the goal. 2-2. We don't have the 2-2. But now our position is interesting because any Barcelona win gives us the green. Because we have the 2-3 and we have the route. What can't happen here? The match simply cannot end 2-2. And Slavia Prague must not be allowed to win. So any result where Barcelona secures a victory gives us the total profit we are looking for. Let's see what happens in the second half. First goal, I didn't see it. Then the other one I saw, it was a pretty random goal. Barcelona better in the game. The tendency, yes, is for Barca to win. So let's go. Let's keep our patience. Keep observing. Getting updates there in the second half. I'll bring them here for you. Too bad the market isn't open so we can see what the percentage is right now. Whoa. Patience really is a noble virtue. 2-3. Now we've got it. 2-3, goal for Barcelona. Well positioned, 17% at this moment. I can move in the market if I want to. Can I close with these? 17, 18%. I can make a lay bet on the current score, reduce the risk a bit, although with odds at 4 it will not change much. Or I can leave it as is, it's my choice. What's our risk here? 3-3. Comeback by Slavia, in other words, any draw or a comeback by Slavia. If Barcelona keeps winning, if it stays 2-4, it turns into any other win by the visitors, which would be a rout, ranging from 3-4, then from 2-4, followed by 4-5, and continuing on in this manner. Alright, if anything important happens or if I make any moves, I'll let you know. For now, I'll keep watching. If Barcelona starts getting pressured too much, then I'll decide to do something and come back here. How nice, huh? 2-4. 37% of the potential. 43. That's what we needed. Now things are a bit calmer. It gets a little worrying again if Slavia manages to score a third goal here. If it stays like this, or if Barcelona scores a fifth, things will stay calm. So right now, I'm definitely not making any moves in the market. I'm just observing for now. We're heading towards the end of the game. Now I think it's over. I was going to say there were just seconds left, but it ended 2-4. Another great dudding here. Now at 43%. We had one yesterday in the Real Madrid game, if I'm not mistaken, at 38%, and now one at 43%. For those aiming for an average profit of 37%, we're doing well. We started off really well here in these videos I presented to you. We didn't need to reduce risk. We didn't need to close. There was no way to try any fireworks or magic tricks because it was already a rout. And if you want to know how I do everything I'm talking about here with you, click on the link in the description of this video to access the free platform luisaterratrader.com.br. And there you'll find the free Dutching course with paid level quality so you can learn how to do this here. Oh, and don't forget to join the Telegram group where I also send out some Dutching entries for you. It's also a free Telegram group. I hope this video has brought you valuable lessons and in some way helps you on your journey as a trader. And that you manage to find the path to profitability by using methods like this one. An incredible method that we can use in correct score or in the exact score market, whichever you prefer. Thanks, big hug, and see you in the next video.